Returning to my Coin Lady channel, I am pleased to see you again. In light of this, the BRICS countries have been somewhat vocal over the past few months. Many people have been talking about the US currency recently. The US dollar has been the center of attention due to a few of recent events. For example, remember how, as far back as 2022 or 2023, people were saying that the US currency was going to collapse. That was a big deal in 2024. The Petrodollar contract has been finalized, and the US dollar has died. Everything is done. Death hath befallen it. The Petrodollar deal did expire, and no new agreement was announced, even as early as June of last year. Although it was one of the most talked about topics at the time, we haven't heard much about it thereafter. Take this post for example. It has 8.4 million views and 52,000 likes. For months, the headline went something like, "The dollar is dead because the Petrodollar agreement is finished," suggesting that the dollar is being artificially devalued. It is still operational. Naturally, it received a lot of attention because, well, everyone is wondering about the petrodollar and its current status, as it is a major factor influencing the value of the US dollar, or anything directly related to it. People pay attention when you mention or learn about this. So, I'm bringing this up again because, of this post over here. The current situation with the US government and its debts appears to be the focus of everyone's attention. When we take a global view, we see that everyone is worried about tariffs and the recession, right? The news is genuinely breaking right now. Ray Dalio, a billionaire, has issued a dire warning about the potential consequences of the growing US debt. We are all deeply in debt. The debt problem must be addressed first. The imbalance between supply and demand is enormous. The debt is unsustainable, as I've always said. The debt is untenable, as any reasonable person could tell you. I find it insane that our interest payments on the debt are now exceeding our tax revenue. You should be shocked to hear this, too, because it is a major problem. This is just what they desire, isn't it? It's becoming a major issue, though. As I've mentioned before, when we have a major issue like this, it's important to focus on the 3 stages of problem, reaction, and solution. After all, there's a reason for everything. For the simple reason that what have we heard for so long? Everything that has been said about CBDCs has been framed through the lens of the digital revolution. The topic of digital currencies has been in the news recently, but right now, everyone seems to be talking about stable coins due to the legislative changes that have recently taken place. What does the role of stable coins play in this context? Am I correct? That is extremely important. We are about to hit a wall and everything is going to crumble if we keep thinking about how the debt is getting unsustainable, and these huge warning flags about how the economy is becoming so unsustainable. Are you ready for this? In the event of a crash. Wonder what's possible. Since everything is reset, major changes can be implemented instantly. Here we examine the latest technological developments in the area. I came across an excellent post by Marty Party, and it does need to relate to the petrodollar, so we can also examine stable coins here. Swapping out the euro for solid US dollars will be the initial step in implementing US digital currencies. This sounds fantastic in theory, but in practice, it would be at odds with what the ECB already announced in October. A euro stablecoin. Next up, though, are stablecoins for international commodity trades, like the petrodollar. Stablecoin legislation is now in the works, and there has been much discussion on how stablecoins, both domestically and internationally, will help maintain the dollar's hegemony, as well as the reliability of electronic payment systems like ACH and credit cards. Trustworthy currency for our nation. The US government oversees the issuance of stable coins. Treasury notes and bonds, followed by Bitcoin and regulated Layer 1 tokens, will serve as their backing. For the next century, this will be the epic tale of the financial system. The thing that makes crypto an opportunity of a lifetime is. Listen, I've already stated it. What makes this asset class so special is that we can touch it, despite its relatively small market cap of less than $3 trillion, and it will provide the financial system with power for the next 100 years. We haven't seen anything like this in the realm of financial technology since the introduction of credit and debit cards in the early 1960s and 1970s, have we? When we consider the bigger picture, we realize that this is a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and we are witnessing its realization as stablecoins get ingrained in the US system. As an example, let's come over here. Stablecoins will be beneficial to our financial system, according to the Financial Services GOP on March 11th. Stable currencies are less prone to price fluctuations than other digital assets, and they modernize the payment system by making international payments easier and cheaper through the use of blockchain technology. The landscape surrounding stable coins has changed dramatically, hasn't it? In recent months, stable coins have emerged as a major alternative to the US dollar. Why? The reason being that the US dollar is currently facing challenges. What better approach to draw attention to a major issue, elicit a response, and then announce, hey, guess what? I mentioned the problem, the reaction, and the solution. Stable coins could be the answer to this major problem. Stable coins come into play when there is a dramatic departure from the established norms and practices that have been around for a while, such as the Petrodollar agreement. We consider what will be the driving force. What will this next financial system? I hesitate to call it that because we're all going to merge with the old one eventually, become. There will be a lot of new and old things coming together quickly. And the greatest way to support this, the best way to keep the US dollar as the dominant currency, is to make sure they support it now. It is imperative that they embrace it immediately. Stable coins are all pegged to the US dollar because, well, that stinks. When it comes to reliable coins denominated in dollars, we are by far the market leaders. It is highly recommended that the US takes action now to align its systems and investigate prominent players such as Ripple. Reason being, extensive reporting on the foreign exchange market around the world, roused, game changer Ripple. Absolutely, that does a great deal of making sense. Appreciate you taking the time to view my video. When you're done, hit that subscribe button and let me know what you think.